Hello everyone! Today we're going to be thoroughly reviewing the impressive ORMO camper, specifically the model known as 42. The distinctive feature of this model is its lowered height. That is, it's 10 centimeters lower than the standard series. As a result, the camper becomes a two-seater. There are also certain advantages: a short alcove of 1 meter and 1 centimeter, and the overall height is 10 centimeters lower. So, in this way, the camper becomes lower and more compact. You'll be able to easily make your way through the forest without worrying about branches, fallen trees, and so on. Thanks to the reduced height and length of the camper, this model, in its basic configuration and dry weight, is on average 50 kilograms lighter than the standard series. This is the perfect option for those who plan to travel as a couple and venture farther away. Thanks to its lower weight and reduced height, the camper has less impact on the vehicle's off-road capabilities. That means your suspension will be less loaded, there will be less swaying and less wind resistance. Here we have a Hilux with stock suspension, and the total height from the ground is 2.2 meters, whereas the standard series is 2.3 meters. Plus, if you add any extra mounted equipment. But overall, 2.2 meters is a pretty good figure. Sometimes when people put a rooftop tent or some cargo boxes, the total height can be even higher. But here we have a full-fledged house, and yet the height is 2.2 meters. In this image, you can see the overall dimensions of the 42 series camper and the standard series camper. Also, pay attention to the difference in their shapes. We are comparing these two models with each other because only they fit the most common mid-size European pickups. These are vehicles like the Toyota Hilux, Mitsubishi L200, Volkswagen Amarok, and others. Speaking of key dimensions, the overall length of the 42 camper is 30 centimeters shorter than the standard camper, measuring 3 meters and 15 centimeters. In terms of height, the 42 series is also 10 centimeters lower. It is important to note that the campers are exactly the same in width. The dry weight of the 42 camper in the basic configuration is 450 kilograms, while the standard model weighs 500 kilograms. The roof tent, just like on the 42 model, is 3-layered. There are 2 layers of Oxford fabric and an insulating layer inside. There are 3 large panoramic windows with mosquito nets on the windows. There are also transparent mica inserts, so you can use the windows in bad weather when it's windy or raining. In other words, you can insert plastic windows, so to speak, and use the windows even in bad weather. And now a few words about the rear tailgate of the camper. It is different from the 42 series in that here the surface is flat. In the model we have a certain curve. Thus, the 42 model is a little bit bigger at the back. The door can be either a swing door, a solid one like you see on this model right now, right? So it opens basically like any regular door in a house, right? You open it and you can go inside. There's also an option to make a swing door, right? That is, when one panel lifts up and the other goes down, it forms steps. The advantage of this solution is that you have a staircase outside. This way, all the dirt that stays on the steps doesn't, you don't drag it inside. So it's always clean inside, all that sand or dust stays outside. That's it. But there are certain nuances, right? Here, you do need to lower and open it quickly. But it literally takes less than 10 seconds, right? Well, of course, once you've opened the door, you can calmly enter the camper. Another advantage of this solution is that there are 3 steps here, almost right down to the floor, making it much more convenient and comfortable to get inside. Now let's raise the roof. You'll see how simple and easy it is. Plus, it uses a scissor mechanism, right? A lot of people ask how the scissor mechanism works during lifting. Do you need to adjust it separately in some way, perhaps? I will show you how to do that right now. In just about 5 seconds, I pushed the roof up. The scissor mechanism automatically pulls the alcove up with it. So you don't need to climb up to the headboard or the alcove and push anything separately. Everything works automatically, which is quite convenient. Now let's take a look from another angle. Let's carefully open the camper, and then, once it is fully open, we will proceed to close it securely. Now, we'll go inside and I'll show you precisely what the innovative scissor mechanism system looks like from the interior perspective and how incredibly comfortable and remarkably convenient it truly is. So, we are now entering the spacious camper. And here you can see what the scissor mechanism system looks like from the inside. So, at the head, or rather at the foot of the sleeping area, an additional 40 centimeters are added, which increases the space. Sleeping becomes much more comfortable and convenient. Now I'll extend the bed and show you how it works. The spacious and comfortable sleeping area extends quickly and easily. We simply pull the shelf forward, revealing the full extent of the bed. Here we have a truly special and innovative latch mechanism that securely fastens the shelf to the adjacent wall. Next, we carefully and precisely move the comfortable cushion to this designated spot, and in that ingenious way, we effectively create a generously sized and comfortable double bed. Its length is 1.95 m, and the width of this cushion is 1.40 m. In this part here, and basically at the foot of the bed, it's the same, the dimensions are the same. It's also important to note that this elastic strap is easy to remove. There are 2 carabiners, and you can take it off while you sleep, so this is a solution specifically for tightening the walls. An important difference between the 42 series and the van series is that when unfolded, the sleeping area does not allow for 2 more people to be accommodated below, right? That is, in the van series, the table lowers, and down here you can set up an additional sleeping area where you can fit 2 more people. But because this area here is smaller, yes, it won't be as comfortable to stay down here. So, in principle, you could even put a person here too, but since there's only about 40 centimeters, it's not as comfortable here. Another point is that, because of the short alcove, the sleeping area unfolds quite deeply, right up to the kitchen zone. As you can see, the sleeping area unfolds right up to the kitchen block. In the Expedition series, the sleeping area unfolds to about half as much. Yes, so it would be somewhere up to here. Thus, when the sleeping areas are unfolded, it is impossible to use the dining area. That is, it is completely blocked by this shelf and the mattress of the sleeping area. That's why this model is designed for 2 people. So, when a couple, for example, goes to bed, the use of the dining area is no longer intended. In the van series, it is possible to use the sleeping area because first, the sleeping space unfolds to about half the size. So, there is still some access to the table. Thanks to the flat rear wall, it is possible to install a mosquito net. Here is a sliding curtain like this, which completely blocks access to the interior for insects. This means you can comfortably stay inside even with the door open, with the windows open, there are mosquito nets there as well, and not worry about being bitten by mosquitoes or gnats. Specifically in this camper, at the client's request, we installed a shower tray. Here, there is a plywood insert to make it more comfortable to stand while taking a shower. And at the bottom, we have a stainless steel tray. Here is the drain hole. Also, at the client's request, we made a grey water tank. It is a structure that attaches to the rear overhang. It has a capacity of about 25 liters. There is a separate tap here, so you can fill it somewhere within the city limits and then drain it outside the city. A curtain is attached to the ceiling. So when you take a refreshing shower, all the water gracefully runs down the smooth curtain walls directly into the spacious tray, and from there, it flows efficiently outside, away from the bathing area. Friends, this was a review of the 42 camper. This is the lightest and most compact camper in our lineup. In this video, we tried to focus only on the key differences between the 42 series campers and the van series campers. Technically and conceptually, these 2 series are very similar. So if you are interested in a more complete and detailed review of our campers, please check out the video at the link in the description. But if you also dream of having your own camper, please feel free to contact us. We make them with great quality and speed. And in just 3 short months, you will be fully able to set off on your very own exciting journey. Well, that's all for today's session. Thank you for your kind attention, and we hope to see you again very soon.